This LOS is describe types of fixed income indices. Now we're going to look at fixed income indices. In the previous LOS, we looked at some of the providers like S&P and Wilshire and Russell, and they all have equity indices and they have different fixed income indices. And with regards to fixed income indices, some of the difference, the way that they're broken up is by type of issuer, government, government agency, corporation. So we've seen sovereign governments, US or UK. We've also seen municipal governments in the US, some tax advantage ones. Number two is by type of financing, general obligation, or we saw there's categories for collateralized debt. Number three is currency of payments, US dollars, or might be euros, or Swiss francs, for example. Fourth is by maturity. We're going to, in the fixed income, study more about duration, so that different bonds are affected by interest rate changes based on the maturity. So that's a popular segmentation. Number five is credit quality. We saw investment grade, high yield. Sometimes those high yield corporates individually are very risky, but if you put a basket together in terms of a fund, they can be fairly attractive in terms of creating some yield. Or by credit rating credit agency ratings. And finally, number six, absence or presence of inflation protected. So in the States, you've got some tips, some treasury inflation protected securities. Just going to take a quick screenshot of the ebook with regards to fixed income indices. So there's a little bit in terms of the construction, but I just want to show this table instead of putting it into a slide. Exhibit 8 was a comparison of minimum issue size and bond holdings by index. So in this case, they're showing you the Barclays Capital, a market iBox. iBox are very popular fixed income, and then some Morningstar indices. So you can see the index US agency, US corporate, UK corporate, and Euro corporate. So they're showing you the minimum issue size. Barclays Capital is 250,000, market iBox 500,000, Morningstar minimum $1 million on the US agency. And then you've got the number of bonds, the number of bond holdings. So that's just comparing, contrasting the sources from Morningstar. So as the previous LOS has said, is that if you're picking a index as a benchmark, you need to know how that index is constructed, what the constituent securities are, and how it may compare it to contrast it to a index with a similar name, but by a different index provider. Okay. Scrolling down again in terms of types of fixed income indices, you can see that was from my slide basically, but very nice graphic here, and this is what I want to end on in terms of my screenshot. We can see here dimensions of fixed income indices. So we start at the bottom in terms of the market, global, regional, down to country or currency zone. Then we had the type, corporate, collateralized, securitized, mortgage-backed, government agencies, government, and then the maturity, for example, 1 to 3, which is short term, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, medium, 10 plus years, which would be the long term. And then finally, the credit quality, AAA, AAA, triple B, anything which is going from investment grade to the higher yields. Okay. And so that, again, I encourage you to always go through and scan through. What is this last little graphic? It's just a market sector breakdown of the Barclays Capital Global Aggregate Bond Index. That's another big one. And you can see 49% of the treasuries, 14.3% government related, 15.3 corporate, and 21.4 securitized. So just a quick practice question to finish this LOS. Fixed income indices are least likely constructed on the basis of A, maturity, B, type of issuer, or C, coupon frequency. I think you'd be happy to see this question on the exam. Quite easy. C is correct. Coupon frequency is not a dimension on which fixed income indices are based. So just got to be careful with the least likely or most likely. Least likely is a false. So fixed income indices are constructed on the basis of maturity, true. Type of issuer, true. Coupon frequency, false. So you're choosing the false. And that's the last slide for this LOS. Thank you.